Yeah.
Yeah.
Trials Fusion on Xbox One, 16 quid. Or £32 if you choose to buy the Season Pass, which it tells you to buy the second that you buy the game, and is indicative of what has gone wrong with Trials Fusion. So Trials Frontier, what's the game called? No, Trials Evolution, the second one that came on Xbox 360, a ludicrously high value for money product, an insane. All those levels, all the creator stuff, all the skill games, and then this huge, brilliant multiplayer mode that we play quite a lot. For some reason, Trials Fusion only has local multiplayer. Apparently, in online multiplayer, it wasn't very popular. This is what they said, wasn't very popular according to their metrics, and isn't going to be included for the next few months. I call bullshit. Everyone I know that plays that game played multiplayer.
Yeah.
So you're left with the game itself, and I mean, I was texting you as I was playing it, and it's Trials. It looks very nice on Xbox One. Apparently it looks even nicer on PS4, but to be honest, it looks lovely on Xbox One. There's a few screen tearing issues on a couple of levels. There happen to also be a couple of early levels, and it happens like in one level quite late on, but basically there's no problem. It's sort of rock solid 60 frames. It looks lovely, and yeah, it's very easy for a long time if you played Trials before, and it just felt like just going through the motions. The tracks were very short, and I just think, what is this? I just felt like a lot of content has been held back for the Season Pass. They're constantly talking about the Season Pass. There's going to be 6 DLC packs between now and next year, and I just felt like this isn't the kind of bounty of luxuries that you got with Evolution, and it's a more expensive game than that was as well. The game itself is obviously still fun. Trials is great fun, and as I got to the later levels, they are some of the best in the series. Definitely, they managed to strike a great balance between being very irritating and trialsy, but still fun and not just like ludicrous difficulty spikes or anything like that. It's a much smoother curve to the really hard stuff, and there's some great stuff in there later on. I haven't got all the way to the super hard levels, but much smoother curve than in previous games, and less cheap stuff like having to balance on the waters in fountains and stuff like that, like you had to on some of the levels in Evolution, and then you spin around and you couldn't really control it properly. So there's nothing like that. But yeah, you can't escape the feeling that there's been content held back. It has the create mode, which is a central part to this game. And I played it the day it came out, and there was already like 100 tracks on there that people have made. They're all shit, but you could already see how good that some are going to be. So I'll imagine a day later, if I put it on, there'll be a ton more. And they've really gone to town on the kind of social aspects of it. So there's a really good menu. There's loads of different ways of like having your favourites. There's a feed of recommended stuff. You can go back to stuff that you played before easily. There's like a like or unlike version after you played the track. So that's going to become where a lot of people play the game, and it's going to be very interesting to see what comes out of that. There's the creation tools seem amazing. So yeah, I mean, a few weeks down the line, that could be very cool, but as it stands, a single player that doesn't get going until about 3/4 of the way through, I'd say. If you've played, and I'm no Trials expert, but if you know how to play Trials, it doesn't really get going until 3/4 of the way through. Oh yeah, I should say there's like tricks you can do now on the right stick. So there are some events which they're called FMX, and they're trick-based events. So you hold it to get you're trying to beat a score. They're not very good, to be honest. And I think there's only like one per set of tracks. You can also do tricks in the normal game, but they're only for completing like in-level challenges for XP. They don't count to score or anything like that. I didn't really dig any of the trick stuff. I didn't think it was done particularly well. It felt a bit sloppy. I just kind of almost wish that it wasn't there. When it's good, it's very, very good. It feels amazing on the Xbox One controller. The precision you have with the sticks makes it feel better than it ever has done before, and the triggers have the rumble in. So if you like over throttle or over brake, you can feel it in your fingers, and that actually, as you get to the harder levels, really starts to impact how you play. And everything's all about subtle nudges of all the different inputs that you have for your bike. So that stuff's great. That I haven't played it on PS4, but I'd say almost worth the slight lack of resolution that you get on Xbox One for that feature. So do bear that in mind if you're in a position where you could buy it on either. But yeah, with no multi, man. And I have to give a shout out to one of the worst songs of all time, which plays over the menu screen. The whole game's set in the future, and there's this song which sounds like an awful mix of like a emo / new metal band and like a really, really crap European dance act, and the song just goes, "Welcome to the future," over and over and over again every time you go to the menu, forever. That's not what you need. That's not what you need in a game that you're going to play for 60 hours, should you play the game for 60 hours. So yeah, I was really pumped for this game, and it's just come as a bit of a disappointment. If it had the multiplayer in there, I don't think I'd be disappointed, because we'd just be playing it. But as it stands, yeah, man, it doesn't feel right.